What's up, guys? I'm Tom Snyder from Coffee Shop Keys, where we give you the keys for turning your coffee shop dreams into reality. Today, I'm going to be talking about the difference between starting a coffee shop and running one. Let's hit it. Okay, first off, starting a business is hard. And a coffee shop is a business. Therefore, by proxy, starting a coffee shop is hard. Starting a business and running one are two very different things, and they require two different skill sets. And so I'm going to be talking a little bit about those different skill sets today. So the starting process of really any business, but your starting process of a coffee shop is a lot more process focused. And what that means is most of the time you're going to be dealing with things that will only happen once, like the build out of your cafe, the design and layout of your bar, developing workflows, that sort of thing. There are some bigger things that you can revisit a little bit later, but won't be changing all the time, like what coffee you're going to carry, what point of sale system you go with. Those sorts of things can be a little bit harder to set up, and you definitely want to do them in the beginning, but you're not going to be changing them every month. I think that the starting phase is a lot of fun because you're making these design choices, you're really bringing your dreams into reality that way, so I think it's great. But a problem arises whenever the money runs out and you finally have to start balancing your revenues with your expenses. And one of the parts of that starting phase is making sure you know what your expense rate is going to be, so you know what your revenue rate needs to be so that you can balance those out. And well, revenues should be up here, expenses down there. So why is starting a coffee shop and running one two different things and they need clear delineation? Well, one of those reasons is because starting a coffee shop, you are doing a lot of those one-time things, but you're also constantly making tweaks and putting into place programs that are going to be basically maintained in the running phase of your business. So it's kind of like the difference I heard recently between a program manager and a project manager. Projects happen once. Many things in the startup phase happen once, like I talked about just a minute ago. And programs are things that you set in place that will happen regularly every so often. So you want to make sure that you're building out all of these in a way that doesn't burn you out as a cafe owner, coffee shop owner. A lot of coffee shop owners find themselves staying in the startup phase and never really moving to the running phase of the business, and this is where we see a lot of burnout happen. And the reason for this is because you're constantly thinking about how to optimize, how to maximize for efficiency, basically how to do everything that you can so that you can bring your revenues up above your expense rate. So one of the ways that we can prevent this is to make hard and fast rules. So you want to know exactly what your break-even point is and how to hit that, and you want to hit that in the first 8 to 12 months of your business. If you're planning it out and it looks like it's going to take you a lot longer to hit that, then you may want to revisit some of the things that you're doing and kind of turn that startup phase mode back on and see like, hey, how can I diversify? How can I diversify my revenue streams to make this business work? Hitting your break-even point in the first 8 to 12 months of your business is key, because that will let you know where the business can start moving from the startup phase into the running phase of it. And the difference between the running phase is that it's a lot more people focused. And you can see this because a lot of big companies, they don't hire entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurs start companies. A company that's already running, they hire managers because they need to manage the people, deal with the customer service, the products, all that sort of thing. So the running phase is a lot more people focused. And what this exactly means is that those programs that you set up in the beginning should be working for you, and you should be able to take those programs and either offload them onto your staff, onto managers that you hire, that sort of thing, or they should be able to just run themselves, whatever those programs are. But you shouldn't have to be the one continually doing those repetitive tasks that you know are coming up every week, every month, etc. Otherwise, you will definitely get burnt out, and it's not going to be a lot of fun. So take a look at the simple tasks that you're doing right now. That may be making the schedule, doing bank deposits, doing vendor orders, stuff like that. And then find out which one of them are really just repetitive and very simple, that with a simple, easy to follow guidelines, you can offload to a manager, assistant manager, or maybe even just one of your regular staff. And one of the reasons that you want to be able to do this in the running phase, notice I said be able to do this in the running phase, is because you want people that you can trust in the startup phase. It's going to take some time to gain trust for those people, and then you want to make sure that you trust them before giving them these tasks that might make a significant impact on your business. So what I would say to do is find your break-even point, and I have a resource on my website, coffeeshopkeys.com. Just search break-even point, or it's there under the blogs, and find out what your break-even point is for your business. And then also take a look at the tasks that you do on a recurring basis, daily, weekly, and monthly, and decide which of those you can offload to someone else, outsource to someone else, preferably that already works on your staff, and start to make a framework or some guidelines on how you can do that. All right, thank you for watching. I'm Tom Snyder with Coffee Shop Keys, and I hope that this has been another key to turning your coffee shop dreams into a reality. Head on over to my website for some more resources, and happy brewing.